Hello and welcome to Tech Circle. We are joined by Mohua Sengupta, who is the Bengaluru-based Managing Director of Mashreq Bank's remote working campuses in India, Egypt, and Pakistan. Thank you, Mohua, for taking the time out and joining us. So it's quite a new and unique designation that you have. Let's begin and talk about Mashreq's work from anywhere model and the future of work trends.
What I understand is last year when we had the first lockdown, Mashreq actually went live, fully operational with people working from home, almost within a week. So and even when I connect with my, past ex-colleagues or business contacts here in other GCCs like ours, nobody was as quickly as operational as we were last year. This is before me. I have heard this. But even the industry talks about it. So what came out of that is that if we could do it during the lockdown, why can't we do it otherwise? And that has a lot of positives, right? I'll come to that, but that's when this whole work from anywhere model or work from anywhere motto came up, and then the implementation started. So when I joined, that was already underway. At least the decision was done. And we were in the thick of actually getting the things done. And it is not really only India. We have 3 centers, India, Egypt, and Pakistan. And this is also a start. The ultimate goal is really, truly, in true sense, work from anywhere. So people should be able to work, sit in Timbuktu or Ukraine or wherever they are, and it should not matter. Now, because of the innovation journey that Mashreq had started almost 5 decades back, the bank systems were ready. Because the biggest challenge that any organization faced at the beginning of the lockdown is this whole work from home setup. The technology of most organizations were not ready. And that's why we saw a big push on digitalization across all industries in any country. We had the advantage that, yes, we also had to do a lot more, but we were already a long way ahead. And that helped us. Currently, our team, especially in Bangalore or rather in India, everybody is working from home. We don't have our office still started like any other organizations. And when I look at the SLAs, we haven't missed any. Nobody can say that anything suffered because of this work from anywhere. And this is not just now when things are more stable. This is even when we were absolutely in the thick of the second wave. Yes, there were people who were unwell, but we could manage that very well. And this is the same with the other 2 centers as well. We currently we are setting up our premises there. Yes, we will have some premises. But we are still in the process of setting up, but that has not stopped us. People have already started joining. People are working from there. So yeah, for us, it's really working fine. And that has its own advantages, as we know. So see, the advantage is the reason the bank had focused on work from anywhere is, number one, it gives you access to a lot of talent. You're not restricted to a particular city or a particular office. At a more personal level, it really helps people get their work-life balance. And yes, there are 2 sides of the story as well. There are many people who feel that, okay, there is no boundary that is there anymore between office and home, and work time has actually extended. All of that being true, it still helps our work-life balance. You still get to have that lunch with your child. Finally, the bank is also very focused on women empowerment. That is an area. Actually, we have 2 focus areas. One is women empowerment, another is PWD empowerment or hiring. So this work from anywhere model actually supports both. Because as women, many times we go through life stages when we need that flexibility. And as I keep saying that when I was at that age or needed that, it was just not there. And for getting a day of work from home was a big deal.
Mohua, certainly since last year, what we've all been hearing is it's a digitally transformed world and everybody's driving acceleration towards that area. So what do you think is India's role particularly I mean, how exactly is the role evolving for global banks, especially during these times?
See, India has always, for the last, 20 years almost, we've been in the forefront of any kind of technological innovation. The whole world has leaned on India, not just UAE, not just US, not just UK, almost the entire world has leaned on India for technology resources. And I should not only say technology, because see, all the global banks, they have huge operation centers in India. So yes, technology also, but purely from an operations perspective as well, a lot of companies have their operation centers in India, not just in Bangalore, but primarily focused on 5-6 cities. And that is because of the sheer availability of a huge pool of educated people who are perfectly comfortable with English, which is needed in the operations world. And in technology world, what is needed is basically technically skilled resources and a big supply of that. So India has always been, for the last 20-25 years, India has been in the forefront of that. Now, what this has done is it has given this whole lockdown or the pandemic has given a huge push towards digitalization, because everybody realized the need, as I had said in your previous question also, the need for digitalization has come out in the forefront. Until then, there were some companies who were focused on digitalization. There were some who were just taking baby steps, and some were just toying at in the fence that, okay, there is time, I'll get there. But this whole pandemic has shown that it has really caused a digital divide. So there are some organizations who were ready and could plunge along, whereas there were some who were not ready. And some of them moved really fast and tried to catch up. But the ones who were really laggards, they actually have fallen behind. So I think this pandemic has really created that digital divide. Even for organizations like, say, a Mashreq or a BBVA or a Barclays or banks or other organizations who were anyway innovation focused, even for us, we had to do some leapfrogging. And for the ones who were laggards, there was more leapfrogging required. So the demand for digital resources who were good in digital technologies became extremely high. Finding the right set of people became critical. And for that, when you look for so many resources of high-tech resources, where else would you go? And somebody who can also communicate. So that's why India became even more imperative for the growth of every organization. I mean, very proudly, we can say that we have brought in the digitalization, a world level digitalization or global level digitalization.
Talking specifically about technological developments, Mohua, what are the new trends that you've noticed and what's new that Mashreq is doing? And also, if you could speak a bit about the future of banking, the new techs that are in place.
Okay, so I will go piecemeal. So you said what is technologically what we are seeing. Huh? So because we are focusing more on remote or more on virtual, few technologies have become much more prevalent. It's not that they have not been there, but it has become a lot more prevalent. One, say the AI ML based security is something, because security concern is the one negative of this big negative of this virtualization or this whole virtual world is the security concern. And being a bank, it's a huge concern for us and for any bank, because we deal with a lot of financial and personal data, which are very private. So AI ML based security is something that has really taken off. I'm sure every organization who is dealing with private data of individuals, we do rely on AI-based monitoring. So, for example, I know we do. We monitor client behavior, we monitor employee behavior in the sense so that we know if there is anything that is not really, that is an aberration, because you immediately flag that. Then if you look at payments, payments has really gone through a ton of change over the last couple of decades. But payments has actually now gone in a completely tangential growth. Blockchain-based payments. It is I am very hopeful that blockchain-based payments will now become more pervasive. Blockchain as an area of, as a technology has been there for a long time, has not really taken off in a large scale. It is, everybody knows the power of it, but nobody is taking that first step. And the disadvantage that blockchain has is that there is no first mover's advantage. It's only when a ton of people come on board. As more people come on board, you gain that much from blockchain. Your blockchain actually becomes more effective. I think this is the time when there will be some, because I have always said that there is a big role that the regulators need to play in order to make blockchain pervasive. I think this pandemic will make that happen, because people are realizing that the value of faster payments and more secure payments, because security concern and speed concern, those are the biggest positives of blockchain. Has it already happened? Baby steps, still POCs. But I definitely think that is another area where we will see a lot of progress and actually getting implemented and moving away a level above POCs. Finally, the third thing I would say, which has really gained a huge momentum, is cloud. Because everything needs to be cloud-based in order for you to do our jobs, any job, virtually. Say, for example, think about a call center. A call center employee, when they are talking, sitting in office and talking, it's a direct connectivity that is very possible from anywhere in India or anywhere in Philippines or anywhere to the parent country. But the minute your call center employees are all working from home, that direct connectivity doesn't work anymore. So how do you then make the call seamless? Cloud is your answer. So this whole cloud focus that we have seen, and again, did we have that? Our cloud journey started quite a few years back when we started focusing on cloud, somewhere in 3 years back, I would say, when our journey really started. But in 2021, it has become our focus. And this is primarily in order to ensure that this work from anywhere can actually happen seamlessly. And yes, we can do it, but can we do it as well as we could in a real face-to-face world? So cloud has become imperative in enabling that. So that is with the technology area. And then you have two more parts to it. What is Mashreq doing was one of them, right?
Yeah, what's new at Mashreq?
Yeah. So see, in Mashreq, one of the main thing is, as I said, is the whole focus on cloud. We have got cloud desktop as a service, because such that our people can work from anywhere. We have invested in our whole cloud-based operations. Our entire solution stack is now cloud ready, because otherwise there are certain solutions do not work on cloud, then you cannot say that you're particularly using a tool or a solution which is not cloud ready, then your person sitting in a remote corner will not be able to use it, or you have to implement that in every desktop or every laptop. Now that is a management nightmare. So we have in a focused way, we have created this, we have focused on our cloud journey. That is one focus area. Other than that, as I said, we have always been big on, but we have continued to focus on our AI ML based security, because security has been a focus for Mashreq for a long time. And we have always been innovative in that security area. This pandemic has only put a bigger focus on that. And like everyone else, there is, no end to what all we can do with data and analytics. So that is another big focus area, because see, when you are sitting at home, you're meeting your clients even less than what we used to. How do you get more customer information? Your customer data is your gold mine, basically. So the better you get at analytics, the better you get at your business. So that's the third area that we have been focusing on a lot.
And talking about Mashreq's roadmap, particularly with respect to India, say for this fiscal, is there any plan, any strategies, or any partnerships that is in place?
So see, Mashreq has, what I'm seeing is Bangalore is a critical area, a critical center from an R&D perspective also. It's not just, so unlike many other GCCs, for Mashreq, it is not just a technology and operations unit. We are doing all kinds of high-end stuff. We are doing credit management. We are doing risk management. We are even doing trading from a different location, from the COEs. So, yes, so as far as Mashreq is concerned, see, you will hear though the MGS legal entity still exists, but we are a one Mashreq. That's the motto that Mashreq has brought in, even before I joined. So this is from the beginning of the year, that this is not a back-end operation center. This is basically one Mashreq. So all the three COEs, as well as our UAE and the other branch offices that we have in the different other countries, we're basically looking at it as one bank, one Mashreq. That's how I would say. And this is a pretty fast journey for us, because as you might know, until 2018, we were pretty much nothing. We had a small center of 100 people. And then from 2019, we grew quite a bit from 100 to 800. And today we are even more, much more than that. So it just says that we are growing. We might be much smaller than most other banking GCCs. But if you look at our growth rate, we are growing really fast in Bangalore, in India. Not just in Bangalore, because now our people are spread across